Hey, hi, everybody, and welcome to another Conversations with Jeff, where our mission is to serve those of you out there who know you're meant for more, those of you out there who just will not quit, for those of you out there that understand that your purpose is meant to be shared. We're here to serve you with impactful information from guest speakers and myself around the battles that we've experienced in the comeback and the lessons we learned in the comeback, and how when we talk about your real gift and your real message comes from the mess, it's truly a reality for us. And we then hope that you take this information and we empower you with the solutions that you can use when you're battle. Because we're either in the battle, all right, we're just getting started with one, or we just got out of one, right? So our goal is to give you these tools that we talk about in these sessions to do that with it. And most importantly, and this is what I believe is, and I talk about it all the time on our show, is that the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself is key. I mean, I say that because everybody has one, right? So you don't have to have an education. I talk about it all the time. You don't have to have a lot of money. You just have to just stop and listen to yourself. And what are you telling yourself? And most importantly, what are you talking to yourself about, right? Stop listening so much to yourself and begin to make a change in that conversation. And that's what we do, because we help you refocus, number one, right? And then first hit the reset button, realizing, hey, this is really for real. What I'm saying to myself is only hindering me. I can really do this, use this tool like Jeff is saying, it really works. And then so you reset. And then you refocus on what it is that keeps coming up. And you have to do some work. This is not magic. You still have to do the work. Sorry, guys. You're right. It is free. And you don't have to have an education to do it and all that stuff. But you have to do the work. It's not going to happen if you don't do the work, man. I'm sorry. That's just the reality about it. But I want to tell you it's possible. For those of you out there that know you're meant for more and you're continuing to seek the next level of life, this thing is possible, what I'm talking to you about, right? And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm known as the Comeback King. I got that name from people who have seen me in early childhood, just like many of you, and gone through all types of adversities, many roadblocks, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial roadblocks, right? And then continuing to move forward, putting one foot in front of the other. And finally, when I surrendered that crazy life, that emotional and mental life that was all fake on the outside, I really found the real gift in serving and helping people, and know that it's just okay to be who you are, right? And that's part of this process, right? Oh, man. The chatter that we have generally with ourselves comes from a distorted perspective. So I want to share something I saw this morning. And my wife and I huddle up. We work on doing it every day to start our day. And this came from a message around, oh man. I always ask everybody when they look in the mirror, who do you see? And do you like who's looking back at you? Right? When you look in the mirror, who do you see? And do you like who's looking back at you? But life has thrown so many curveballs at us that now we see a distorted image of ourselves, right? And there's a spiritual piece that says we've been fearfully and wonderfully made, right? For those of you that are Christians and those of you that may not be, but I think this applies to everybody. We've been fearfully and wonderfully made, whoever created us, whatever you believe, right? What does that mean? That means, we've got the juice. We were born with it, right? We were created with that juice. I have some notes down here too, so I don't get way off subject here. So but when we look in the mirror, we see the distorted mirror, even though we've been given this gift. And that distorted mirror reflects mistakes that we've had, failures. And I like this one. In the times we didn't measure up, right? What that means that fuels that low self-esteem, that fuels that worthiness. Am I worthy of what it is that we're talking about here? And do I deserve that? Oh, man. So this is the distorted mirror. You have two mirrors, right? You have the distorted mirror over here now, that's looking back at you. And then you have that mirror of prosperity, achievement, and success, right? And by doing what I would suggest all the time of being conscious of the conversation you're having with yourself, become the disruptor of that conversation, be deliberate and be the D&D, deliberate disruptor of that conversation. And then, man, be determined to replace it. And that takes some work, that takes some discipline. So the discipline, determination, right, to make the difference. But it works. Do it over time. So that distorted mirror all of a sudden, because here's the other thing about that. We become the victim. We see ourselves as a victim, and we become defeated when we look at that image coming that's looking back at us. Man. But I wrote this down, God has beauty for those ashes. If that's what you believe, whoever you believe the universe is, there's some beauty in that ash, right? There's a gift in not quitting. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Winners never quit, and quitters never win, baby. That statement is so true. There's beauty in not giving up. There's beauty in saying, okay, one more day. Thankful for this day. What do I need to do next? And you keep moving forward, baby. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, man. I'm trying to tell you guys, the power in the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself is so important. Take the tools. If you need more information, my information is in the chat around this subject matter, because I've got some really great things that I've helped hundreds of people over the last 30 years do in this subject matter, right? And before I leave this, I will say that, hey, listen, there's going to be more work involved once you understand the power of the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself. But then you need to take that and then be willing to go backwards and really look at where that imaging change came, where that disconnect began for you. Because if we don't get that thing dug out and removed, you're only going to go as far as you see yourself, right? So the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself, stop that stinking thinking. We talk about it all the time, and begin to understand that distorted mirror no longer has to be the mirror you see. Right? Know that that's what's looking back at you. But know you also have prosperity, achievement, and success, and you are worthy of success. Nothing should stop you from reaching your destiny. Do not be denied, man. Nothing should stop you from reaching your destiny. Do not be denied. For those of you out there that are seeking your greatness, for those of you out there that know you're meant for more, and your purpose is something that needs to be shared, people need to hear your message. So don't give up. Keep moving forward. Know it's possible, and you can do it. We believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. And these tools I'm talking about today, you can help begin that journey. And reach out to me for more information. I'd love to talk to you more about that, right? So today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about those of you who may not know, I had 20 plus years of corporate America a long, long time ago, but I'm connected to some high level executives in the arena of corporate America. And we chat all the time about COVID and all the other things that impact your life, their business. And so I put it in there, the COVID hangover, right? And let me know where you're coming from when you hear this message, and drop a comment in there if you would, that you hear me okay. Hey, good morning, Isaac. How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. As we go through this, and make sure you set up the notification bell and share this information, right? Because Conversations with Jeff is a community that we want to grow, and we need your support to do that, right? So getting back to the COVID hangover, and I have a couple of things I'm just going to share with you and look down as I do that. And number one, I put it in the description. COVID pandemic disrupted traditional workforce models all over the world, right? And accelerated digital transformation, and has brought significant change in the workplace. Duh, we all know that, right? Now we're somewhat removed from the impact of COVID, but I don't think we're gone completely. I talk to people all the time. They say, man, we're not certain about certain things. We don't know if the employees trust us. We don't know if we're making the right decision bringing them back to work. We don't know if leaving them at home without the right tools and having them fend on. We know that. They do know that. Hey, we need to revisit making sure that our people have the right tools and all the other things. But there's just some question. And most importantly, they're not sure of the loyalty. If there is any loyalty. Just like if I'm working for somebody, I'm not sure anymore. I wouldn't be that sure either, right? So this conversation is for both the employer and the employee today. I want you to just think about some things and then jot down some thoughts when you hear this message, right? And so number one, we already know COVID still exists. And it had the biggest impact on remote work. It's been the most significant change. And companies have adapted to the model. They've got it figured out, and they've created outstanding workplaces, and employees are excited. Productivity is up. Opportunities for employers to advance is clear. They know where they're going. They've made the commitment. They, being the employer, have made the commitment to make sure if they're going to be remote, they have the tools to work effectively from home. And then, oh, by the way, hey, you create a space to come in the office. For some people still like to be connected in the office, like my wife. She's a corporate person, still likes to be around people, right? Still likes to be part of a community, right? There's people out there that like that. I like this part of the community, right? I was never one that in the corporate world, I kind of like to have my own space. But anyway, you're not here to talk about me. So, so they have the technology and the remote collaborations, communication, and it's created a lot of flexibility in there. But since you've made some changes, you, the corporate owner, and you're bringing people back to work, are you in touch with how that's really going? And employees, are you being honest with your employer now that you're back in the office and you really didn't want to go there and you really were effective? So is there any conversation around that, employer or employee? Because it's real. People are still, if they're not comfortable, for those employers that don't have their work environment, that where people can come to you and feel honest about what it is and not be judged or terminated based off of that, then you probably got this thing figured out. But those companies out there that don't, look, until AI takes over completely, we still need people to work. Right? You're still going to need people to be comfortable in the workplace. You're still going to need people that stay committed to your purpose. You're still going to need people that want to be part of an organization. So again, I'm just here to check in with you. I really have some really cool things around how to get around some obstacles that you may or may not be aware of in COVID, but that's not what we're here for. So just want to say, check in with your employees. I think you'll be surprised, both on the good and the bad side. I talk to people all the time and they say, man, I just don't know what my next move is going to be with this company because they haven't told me, right? Yeah, there are companies that have adapted to the hybrid workplace. That's right. And those companies are doing great, man. And so I applaud those companies because it's not going to change, right? And we're not going back to the way we used to be. I think my wife said something and I wrote it down, but I don't know if I brought it. She's profound, my wife, man. But anyway, so workplace, make sure continue to do the other things. And if you want some ideas around that, please reach out to me. I can let you know. Here's another one. You kind of fell out. People lost their jobs in COVID. Companies were shut down during COVID, right? And increased some jobs insecurities for people that still have their job. Are you communicating clearly, Mr. or Mrs. Business owner or corporate exec, to your people that their job is important? Their job is not in jeopardy. You can't guarantee them that, right? I mean, there are no guarantees in life, but are you communicating to them? Are you being aware of the fact that that is a reality for your people? And if you're not, why not? Right? And employees, if you have a conversation with your manager and you're talking about work conditions and all those things, be bold, be brave. And I'm not trying to get you fired or nothing like that. But what I found in my corporate life was when I built relationships with my leaders and then my peers, we all found ways to communicate better. We all found a common ground to land on. We all were able to do things that were, as an individual, uncomfortable to do. So there's leaders sitting around the workplace right now. Be that leader and help you and your peers find out what's going on. What's up, Bob? Yep, and like some managers are not clear with the direction because they don't know. That was my next point, Isaac. And you at the high C-suite level, are you communicating down to all the way through? Is it trickling down what it is that the company stands for still? what it is as an employee I can expect from my employer, right? From advancements, from, I guess the biggest thing is that, is my job real? Are we going to be here for a while? What's the company vision, right? Sit down and let's have, some companies do a great job. They have these town hall meetings and they bring everybody together, and it comes down from the CEO, what's happening, what they plan, what they can expect. And there's a big difference. So are you doing that, Mr. CEO or Mrs. CEO? Are you making sure that your people, you're demanding all this work, but are you sure that your people are understanding where they fit in the equation? Making it clear for them, right? So I appreciate the comments on here, man. Keep them coming here. And these are just some highlights. I had it on my notes to kind of talk about. And then, so mental health. Woo, taking a toll on mental health. Hey, look, I don't have to talk a lot about that. Job insecurities, remote work challenges, and general stress and anxiety have increased. Rates of burnout are high, depression and anxiety. So are you really listening to your employees? I see there's less in communication on the workforce. That's including training. Are you really making sure that this person that you've given these responsibilities have the right training? Right? Man, I mean, this is all common sense stuff. This is things that we talk about, but I challenge the folks out there that own this business, that really want to grow your business, and you're finding some problems on the workforce side. Because some of these things be the reason why. When's the last time you pulled your people together and you had just a wide open session about, hey, what have we done well so far after COVID? What are some concerns? I mean, here's some things, write them down. What are some concerns that you may have? What do you feel that we can do better in communication? What do you feel that we can do better in providing you with the right tools? What do you feel we can do better in laying out the roadmap for you as an employee at ABC Company? Simple questions, man. Remember, you're only going to be as great as the workforce that you have. And that's the facts. And I spent corporate, man. I was in management and operations, and part of my whole thing was building relationships between producers and the operational side and making sure that everybody knew what was going on, man. So communication is key. And are you effectively communicating where people understand? Are you speaking to them and making sure that they hear what you're saying and not talking at them, but having a conversation with them? The old saying goes, people, only care when they know how much you care, when they know that they've been heard, when they know that they finally have someone that's listening. So that's up to you. Where are you at with that stuff, right? And then the last thing I have is kind of, the COVID has created some skill gaps. I said it at the beginning. Are you providing the things necessary for those people that had the talents before that are now digitally? Taking it a big thing in the workforce. Yes. Talking at them. That's right, man. And I talk to people all the time and I always ask them the question. So after the meeting, they have this meeting and I always say, so what feedback did you receive? And they have a blank stare on their face, right? Because there's been no chatter. There's been no two-way. There's not been an environment where people feel comfortable enough to talk to somebody that's in control of their destiny, right? And they've seen them behave in ways that haven't been favorable before. So stop talking at your people and begin to listen. And listen with your eyes, not just with your ears, but listen with your eyes and listen with your heart, right? Because people will show themselves if they get comfortable. Create a working environment, man, where people are comfortable coming to you with issues that are real life issues that you can use to change and have a better work environment. Don't be cheap. Don't keep cutting costs. Because it's all about the bottom line, right? And don't believe that all people are just going to continue to put up with it. Because I encourage people all the time. Look, If you aren't happy in your job, the COVID, to me, this is just perspective, has created, and it's still going on, that COVID exit where people are creating their own destinies, man. They're doing their own business. They're finding ways and means to learn something new and not have to go to college to do it. They're finding people out there that are making them happen. Ooh, I got to get to this. That's a great one. Isaac says, how about you managers out there that talk in circles? Ooh. So in other words, when you're done talking to your employee, are they scratching their head, wondering what in the did you just say? Or you start out in one place and then there's no ending to it, talking in circles. People aren't crazy, right? You either don't know what the heck you're talking about, which is often the case. I mean, we promote people that really are super at their role, but then we promote them into leadership roles, and then they're terrible communicators. They're not, they don't understand that, man. It's just they're not willing to appear to be incapable while they're learning, right? I mean, there's a difference. When people see you learning something, you get a promotion and you're learning something new and you ask for help, it's a whole lot different than some jarhead that's doing something new, not asking for help and continuing to make themselves look like a fool, right? There's people that have been doing a job that you're managing for years and you don't know anything about it. Have you asked them how it works? Have you sat down with them? Woo. Hey, that talking in circle, man, we're going to talk about that forever. So anyway, I just wanted to, part of conversations with Jeff is we just kind of check in with and share some things that are going on and that I believe are important and, some things that I've used to help other people in these situations. Because I'll tell you this, Q1 is almost in the bag for 2024. And are you ready for Q2? Are you ready to have a tremendous first half? You business owners out there that have these great goals, that are working your tails off, that are doing all the things. Only you know. I know for me, I'm currently in the reset mode somewhat because of some things that have just happened recently. So I have to do all this stuff, start over again in some areas, man. So I'm reminding myself of the things that have been effective before in the past when I built my first business. And I went from one guy and me to 40 plus employees and getting ready to go to 80, and then the housing market crash came and changed things. But I've learned so many different things over the years. And what Isaac just said, don't talk in circles, right? Talking at them is another one. If you're talking to people and all of a sudden they're nodding and they're staring and they're not moving around, they're not paying attention. You're talking at them. Pay attention. And know that you don't have to be this big know-it-all person that has to show yourself as all-knowing. Authenticity is key now. People are ready for that. COVID has woke up to folks, man. They don't hear the noise. And they can tell a joker a million miles away. So are you a joker or are you for real, Mr. or Mrs. CEO? And employee, are you a joker or are you for real? Are you whining and complaining? What are you doing? It's a two-way street. So anyway, I'll say this and then I'm going to get out of here. As an employee, those of you that have annual reviews, those of you that companies that provide that, as an employee, that annual review, if you're having that, is a great tool for you to find how you can get noticed, how you can get scheduled for the next advancement, how you can kind of manage the manager in that process. If you have that and you haven't had success, hit me up. Let me know. I got my information in the chat. I got a few things that I've done to have a successful corporate career. I mean, I got promoted every 12 to 18 months for the first 5 years. And then the next industry I went into, I got promoted the first 3 years every year. And it's using that as a tool to do that. I mean, it's a powerful tool. And you employers that are using it, are you using it effectively? Do you have the right leaders in place that you can develop your staff? right, in the areas that they need development in, that you can identify the areas that they're doing well so that can become a strength for them and putting them in the right place. It goes both ways, man. So anyway, hey, look, I hope this conversation helped a little bit. Isaac, thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate that. Really brought us some great points. And congratulations on your book. Um, yes, sir. Yeah. Staff development is so important. And that's the key. Invest in your people. Please invest in your people. Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for being here and share this information. Invest in your people. Invest in yourself. And understand what I talked about earlier, right? That distorted mirror that's looking back on that person that's defeated, that person that has low self-esteem, that doesn't feel worthy. I get it. Change the narrative. It takes time to do it. Stop this thinking. And I want to let you know that it's possible for you too to reach that destiny that you're seeking right now. Nothing can stop you from reaching your destiny. Do not be denied, man. I can, I will, and I must. Show up no matter what. No matter what, man. And I'm living in the no matter what, guys. Woo, man. And I got to tell you, hitting the snooze button about 5-6 times, changing the alarm clock, getting up is not as easy as it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I'm getting up and I'm showing up. So appreciate everybody. Make sure, Isaac, man, let's connect. And do you have a COVID hangover? And if so, are you working on it? And if you're not, why not? Right? That's what I challenge you. Your people deserve it. Get it done. Take care. Got some great guests coming up the rest of the month. Appreciate everybody. Share this information. Set up the notification bell. Isaac, have a great day. Talk to you guys again soon. All right, baby. Remember, you're meant for more. Nothing shall stop you from reaching your destiny. Do not be denied. No matter what. Show up. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.